couple of seasons ago, the Detroit Pistons were at rock bottom. They finished with the worst records in the NBA and were the laughingstock of the league. It seemed that their rebuild had hit a wall. The Pistons were stuck in a seemingly endless cycle of mediocrity. Their roster was young, inexperienced, and struggling to find an identity. This kind of performance wasn't a new story for a franchise that had struggled for much of the past 2 decades, despite brief flashes of hope. But just 2 years later, something remarkable happened in Detroit. They are no longer the NBA's basement dwellers. Instead, the Pistons have emerged as one of the most surprising teams in recent NBA history. From the lowest of lows to an unprecedented rise, the Pistons have become a beacon of hope in a league that is always searching for the next underdog story. This transformation is nothing short of extraordinary, and it's a testament to the resilience, vision, and effort that can shift the trajectory of a franchise, even when the odds seem insurmountable. In the 2022 season, the Pistons were characterized by inconsistency, lackluster defense, and a troubling inability to close games. At the time, the team was heavily reliant on young players with high potential, such as Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, and Isaiah Stewart. While these players had flashed brilliance at times, they were still developing and lacked the experience needed to compete consistently in the NBA. For fans in Detroit, it was an all-too-familiar feeling. After the highs of the Bad Boys era in the late 80s and early 90s, when the team won back-to-back championships in 1989 and 1990, the Pistons had struggled to recapture that magic. The team had been through multiple rebuilds since the peak of the franchise, with little success. From 2008 to 2015, the Pistons made just one playoff appearance. Their roster decisions, coaching changes, and lack of consistent star power had led them to perennial bottom-feeding status. Despite their obvious talent, the 2022 season felt like a continuation of that painful cycle. The Pistons were the worst team in the NBA, and optimism for their future seemed to be dwindling. Even with a potential superstar in Cade Cunningham, there were no guarantees for the team moving forward. But even in the darkest days, the seeds of a renaissance were quietly being planted. Fast forward to this season, and the Pistons are an entirely different team. What was once a franchise struggling to find its footing has suddenly become one of the most electrifying stories in the league. The key to their rise has been the development of their young core, leadership from veteran players, and the brilliant coaching of Bickerstaff, who took over in the offseason. Under Bickerstaff's watch, the Pistons have surged and are currently climbing to the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference. Their turnaround has been nothing short of astonishing, and they're now one of the most talked-about teams in the league. The improvement has been marked by several factors: better defense, more effective offense, and most importantly, a renewed team chemistry that has taken the Pistons from an afterthought to a legitimate contender. At the center of Detroit's remarkable rise is their young star Cade Cunningham. The 2021 first overall pick was injured for much of the 2022 season, which led to the team's struggles. But in 2023, Cunningham has returned to his dominant form and has taken the leadership reins in a way that the franchise had hoped for when they selected him. Cunningham is the type of player who can control the game at his pace. His poise, vision, and basketball IQ make him a unique talent, and his ability to play both on and off the ball has given the Pistons a dynamic offensive weapon. Alongside Cunningham, the development of Jaden Ivey, another promising young guard, has given the team a formidable backcourt. While Cunningham has been the leader, the team as a whole has been impressive. The Pistons now play a modern, fast-paced brand of basketball with an emphasis on spacing and three-point shooting. Their defense has also significantly improved, with much of the credit going to their new coaching staff, which is focused on improving the team's defensive schemes and accountability. A key component of Detroit's resurgence is the team's commitment to player development. Over the years, the Pistons have acquired a number of promising young talents, and the organization has worked hard to help these players reach their potential. Cunningham, Ivey, Stewart, and others have benefited from structured developmental programs and have flourished under the leadership of a front office that has committed to a long-term vision. This shift in focus has been instrumental in the team's success. For years, the Pistons had been trying to land big-name free agents or make splashy trades, but those moves often failed to materialize into consistent success. The decision to focus on youth and development has finally paid off, and the team has quickly gone from one of the worst teams in basketball to one of the league's biggest surprises. As the Pistons continue to rise, there is an undeniable sense of nostalgia that hovers around the team. The franchise's storied past, particularly the Bad Boys era, still looms large in the collective memory of fans. That team, led by Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, and Bill Laimbeer, was known for its physicality, tenacity, and unwavering defense. The Pistons of today are a far cry from that old-school squad in terms of style, but the spirit of grit and determination has resurfaced. While this Pistons are not yet championship contenders, the parallels between them and the Bad Boys era are apparent. Like their predecessors, the current team thrives on a defense-first mentality and a relentless work ethic. The rejuvenated Pistons seem determined to embody the same ethos that made them one of the most respected franchises in NBA history. The big question now is, can the Pistons maintain this level of play and continue to surprise us? Many experts have pointed out that their roster is still young, and while they have exceeded expectations, there is still work to be done. The team's next steps involve continuing to build around Cunningham, Ivey, and Stewart, while adding more talent through the draft and potential trades. The Pistons have also shown that they're willing to be patient, something that is often difficult in today's fast-paced NBA. While it's still early in their resurgence, the future looks incredibly bright for Detroit. If they can continue on this path, it won't be long before they are not only a playoff team, but also a legitimate contender in the Eastern Conference. The rise of the Detroit Pistons has been one of the most unexpected storylines this season. From being the NBA's worst team to one of the biggest surprises in league history, the Pistons' transformation serves as proof that in professional sports, anything is possible. What the Pistons have accomplished in such a short time is nothing short of remarkable. They've turned their fortunes around, re-energized their fan base, and shown the league that with the right vision, leadership, and player development, even the most downtrodden franchise can rise from the ashes. In a league where teams are constantly looking for the next big thing, the Pistons have proven that the answer doesn't always lie in free agent signings or high-profile trades. Sometimes, it's about building something from the ground up, one step at a time. As Detroit continues to climb, the rest of the NBA will be watching closely, wondering if this team can continue its meteoric rise. If the Pistons continue on this trajectory, they may just become the NBA's next powerhouse. A reminder that in this league, the biggest surprises can come from the most unexpected places.